don't think Trump is racist. No.
Okay, so then why do you think that?
You want me to?
He called for their death even though they were exonerated.
You want to talk about the Central Park Five? All right,
yeah.
Let's talk about the Central Park Five. How much do you know about the Central Park Five?
Okay, well, he's not going to respond to this.
Well, I'm actually trying to look up the plot so that way we can read it together.
Because you don't know the plot, you're just assuming it's the same. Yeah, how old are you?
24.
And do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Election held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you vote for?
Yeah, obviously Trump.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Real quick, I just actually wanted to piggyback off of what one of the last smarter people was talking about, specifically about the black vote. So if it is the case that you think that Donald Trump is racist in America and has taken away black people's rights, can you tell me the percentage of the percentage of the black vote each time Trump ran, and tell me the difference? That
he got a proportionally higher percentage of the black vote every single time he ran doesn't change the fact that he is racist. What?
Okay, do
you want me to give you examples of him being racist?
If it is the case that he is trying to rip rights away from black people, how is it the case that black people are not even noticing this? At least, actually, if it is the case,
92% of black women voted against Trump.
Okay, and what?
So you say black people aren't noticing this? Wait, you say black people weren't noticing this? The predominant majority, overwhelming majority of black people voted against Trump.
Obviously, women are not going to be voting for Donald Trump. Let's not be oblivious right now. Now, give me the percentage of
it's not just women; it's specifically black women. 92%.
Of the full black vote.
Wait, I think it's like 73%, 78%, something like that.
I'm asking you a specific question. Give me the numbers from the 2016, 2020, and 2024 race, and tell me those numbers.
I don't know why you're so angry. If you'd like to cite them yourself, you can go look them up.
You're playing dumb. That's what you're doing.
I'm sorry, I don't have them in front of me. Would you like to go look them up if you want to go chill out for a second?
You're the computer guy. You
have a computer, don't you?
I have a phone in front of me, buddy.
Do you have anything else?
Why would I have anything else?
Well, I don't know.
I'm not the one who's on live, am I not? Man,
you are on live, sir.
I cannot believe I got you this stumped.
Sir,
how about your buddy?
Sir, you're on live right now.
Yeah.
Why are you mad, bro? Are you mad, bro?
I'm not. You're just being oblivious. I expected more.
Oblivious? More. What do you mean you expected more? You're just asking me what I
expected more. I asked you this question three times already. You have a computer. Look it up.
I can look it up for you. I'll tell you.
Okay. And tell me that those numbers practically do not double.
It doesn't.
2016, 2020. Let's see it. I think he got maybe 6% of the black vote. 7%. Then he got about 13% of the black vote. Then 2024 got about what? Maybe about 20%, 22%? What are the numbers looking like, buddy?
Yeah, I'm clicking on it right now. Give me a second.
So let's start with 2016 first. Let's go one at a time. So wait, it's not that hard for you.
So here, I'll show you on the screen what's coming up. I'm not quite sure how to fully interpret this data. Yeah, I just need to look at it for a second further. This is what's coming up. To me, it doesn't look like the proportion of people who are voting for him are increasing. It says it's decreasing in the amount that you deem as white, and it slightly increases the amount.
You can't even see where the black is. You can't even see it. What are you talking about?
It went from 6 to 10.
It's literally proving my point, Parker. You're literally proving my point. 2016. You see how small that little lighter yellow bar is? You see how in number 2 that virtually is doubled. Then in number 3 that virtually is doubled too. So thank you for proving my point.
Wait, so it went from 1 to 3? It went from 1 to 3%?
No.
Of his vote? It went 1 to 3% of his vote went, and that's what he's crashing out about.
This is in proportion to all of races. You understand that, right?
Yeah, if you want to acknowledge that his
African Americans, stop arguing with a straw man, bro. Stop.
Why are you crashing out, dude? It's okay. You don't need to be so emotional.
I really expected more, Parker. Now, can you
We're just talking about the percentage of people who are black that voted for Trump or not. What do you mean you expected more? We haven't even gotten to a broader conversation. You're just crashing out.
If I go on Teacup right now and I look up
the numbers, percentages... Hey, Will. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. You are gonna be okay.
I do feel bad for you, though, because I do feel bad for you because talking to the last people, I was getting so mad because such uneducated people come on here and talk to you. So it's a
including
relief
yourself,
for
sir.
me. Oh yeah, and yet you couldn't even answer my question. I
I did
said
answer your question, sir.
out of the black vote, out of everyone's vote, or out of the black community specifically,
I already answered the question. I showed
you
you on the
literally
screen.
okay. All right, so let me just can I fact check you then? If I go on Teacup, are you gonna kick me?
No, no, go ahead. You can go look up whatever
Okay.
you'd like. What do you mean fact check me? I showed you something from Pew Research, sir. I don't know why he's crashing out so badly. Can we get some baby bottles in the comment section for this Trump supporter throwing a temper tantrum? It's crazy. Sam, by the way, thank you so much for the $100 over on YouTube Super Chat. Can we some W's for Sam in the comment section right now for the $100 on YouTube Super Chat? They said, Parker, you're awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much. Joshua, thank you for the $6.70. Thank you very much. Emma with the $25. Thank you very much on Venmo. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you. I definitely will make sure to do so. As well as Kira, thank you so much for the dollar. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. No, I have heard about it, but I haven't seen it quite yet. But thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'll make sure to bring that up and look more into that. Thank you very much. Lila, thank you for the $3 for giving some baby bottles for the guest. For why is bro so pressed? I have no clue. He's just so angry for no reason. Over the taco, thank you for the $5 for according to Forbes, it went from 8% to 12%. Yeah, I'll have to look more and see specifically what other things are saying. It says in 2024, according to Politico, that it was 15% of black voters overall. I mean, I just like, is this really what you're parading about? Is you're saying because 15% of black people voted for Trump, that makes him not racist? Like, that's such a crazy
Well,
argument.
hold on. So let's just be clear. The main argument is that when you're talking about Donald Trump being racist in America, I would assume that since your buddy Dean ran with the topic of he's ripping rights away from black people, you would also say the same, right?
He said that Donald Trump is racist. I agree.
So you wouldn't agree that Donald Trump is ripping rights away from black people then, right?
I mean, I don't think that's a
Oh,
claim that we specifically ever made. I think that we'd argue that the current
oh,
system
well,
is disenfranchising black people within this country. Not that, like, black people have been prevented from voting or something or have a specific right taken away from them.
okay,
Okay. He's just crashing out. He doesn't want to respond to the fact that we called Trump racist because he knows it's true, by the way.
no.
No pushback on that point. Did you
Well,
disagree?
I just asked you the
Do you disagree that Trump is
disenfranchising
racist?
I don't think Trump is racist. No.
Okay, so then why do you think that?
You want me to? I'll give you an example of how Trump is not racist.
Okay.
Okay. There was one person who was accused of a very, very violent, grotesque crime that you would call it rape on TikTok, right? His name was Mike Tyson, and one of the only people that came out to defend Mike Tyson was Donald Trump. If Donald Trump was a
This
racist,
doesn't make him not racist. What are you talking about?
how? How?
What about the Central Park Five? He called for their death even though they were
Oh, you want to
exonerated.
talk about the Central Park Five? All right,
Yeah.
let's talk about the Central Park Five. How much do you know about the Central Park Five?
I'm not like I know everything, but I know that they were exonerated based upon DNA
Okay,
evidence.
let me ask you something. Did those boys not admit to the crime that they committed, as well as their parents being in the room with them, except for one boy, the oldest?
They
Four
were
out of the five.
exonerated based upon DNA
Four.
evidence.
That you,
That
you can keep
particular
you
that
can keep
particular
saying that.
admission
You
was
can
was
keep
under
saying that.
duress. It was admission
You
under
can keep
duress, which
saying
is
that.
inadmissible.
You can resort to the talking point of they were exonerated because you have no idea what you're talking about.
I
But
said they
yet,
were, sir. I said they were exonerated based upon DNA evidence, and them. Wait, are you admitting? Wait, are you saying right now that you think they were guilty? Wait, do you think they were guilty?
Yes. I don't. If you really want my opinion, let me
Yeah,
speak it then.
go
Let
ahead.
me speak it then. I think that they most certainly were wilding out in the park. Now they did not commit the SA against the actual woman because they were young boys who were inexperienced with that type of violent action. You know who was hard on for it? The man who literally grabbed his mom, and not to mention, he actually came out and said that he was the only person that did this and whatnot, and yet actually from the investigation, per the police chief who was black who ran the investigation, literally said they looked back in the notes of when they were interviewing him, and they literally said what was it? He took a Walkman, you know, that the recorder thing that people used back in the day to listen to CDs and stuff like that. He said that he took a Walkman and no one would know about it or something like that. And yet one of those boys literally recalled that happening. So that means that they were there. They were definitely there. And not to mention, 1 out of the 5 boys, literally 4 out of the 5 had their parents present. The only one that did not have their parents present was the oldest one. And not to mention, 1 of the 5, their fathers brought them down to the police station because he confessed to his father about what he had done in terms of beating up a woman.
So explain to me why you think they were exonerated. Wait. So hold on. Pause for a second. Can you pause for a second and stop screaming into the mic?
Well, let's take it back to the topic
of
Trump. So
you said no. Hold up. We were going through this. Let me at least stress this. Do you think that they are guilty?
I think that they are guilty for assaulting the woman. Yes.
Okay. So then you dismiss that they were exonerated, predicated off of DNA evidence.
I don't dismiss that it's factual that they were actually exonerated, but considering that they made a TV show about it specifically to put to put a fire under somebody's ass to get them exonerated, that seems kind of shit. And the TV show that
so by the way, he said the TV show means that it didn't happen. Like what is this guy's argument? This guy's so ridiculous.
Going into the police station saying,
hey dude, volume down. Hey, bring the volume down a little bit. Can you stop screaming?
Now hold on, let's bring it back to Trump then. Now when specifically at the time, you cannot look at this from a lens of today's day and age where these kids were exonerated, right? Specifically, they admitted to the crime on camera with their parents present.
Under duress.
Under duress. Can you explain to me how they're under duress with their...
And then they were exonerated based on DNA evidence. Again, I'm going to tell you one more time. Please stop screaming in the mic.
Can you explain that?
Dude, he's so loud. I told you. I already explained to you he was exonerated based on DNA evidence. You said you wanted to move back to Trump. Did you want to move back to Trump? Do you want me to explain broadly? Do you want me to explain?
I said
Sir,
that he did not commit an essay.
Holy shit.
How would they have DNA? How in the world would I think...
Stop screaming. Can you stop screaming?
I'm not screaming.
You can watch this back later. You can hear yourself screaming, Will.
Okay, Parker, let me ask you a question. Did I not just say I do not think that they committed the Essay Act?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You're a apologist. Of course, I would expect you to say that.
How would they find DNA evidence, specifically in relation to the junk area? How would I believe that they find DNA evidence on her from the boys when I literally said I don't think that they committed the act of SA? The only person that actually did commit the act of SA is the man who was a serial rapist. And I'm not a grape apologist. I don't even know where you get this from. But specifically, now
do you believe Eugene Carroll? Do you believe Eugene Carroll?
No. Who would believe Eugene Carroll?
You see what I mean? So yeah, you are. Exactly. You literally don't believe someone who got a civil liability.
I'm sorry, did Eugene Carroll not acknowledge...
Hey, Will, chill out. Trump was held civilly liable...
Eugene Carroll not acknowledge it.
Will, chill out. Trump was held civilly liable of abusing Eugene Carroll unanimously amongst a jury of 9 people. Okay? Can you acknowledge that he's a violent offender?
I can acknowledge that there was a weaponization of the justice system against Donald Trump. Now, to get back to Eugene Carroll, did you know that she admitted in court that she was specifically knew about a Law and Order episode that perfectly depicts what she said happened to her when it came to Trump? And she said she was aware of the episode, but she had never seen it?
No, she's aware of Law and Order, but she had never seen that episode.
No.
So Law and Order SVU. So shut up and listen. Stop screaming.
Do I need to fact check you on this now too?
Do you need to be quiet for a second? Can you have some self-control?
Okay, are you going to kick me if I go on teacup while I listen to you?
No.
Okay.
No one's going to kick you. I bet you're going to run away before there would be a situation where I kick you.
Why would I run away? I'm literally killing you.
You're getting obliterated.
I'm unaliving you.
You are getting obliterated.
I'm doing pretty good.
Dude, if you think I'm destroying him, type 3 in the comment section.
Yeah, because all of your comments are just the Glazers. What are you talking about, bud?
Yeah. So is there anyone that thinks you're winning?
People in the guest box. You probably got like 50 or 60 people in the guest box who are ops. That's about it. That's everyone on my side, bro. Who the hell comes here?
Yeah, you want to know why? You want to know why? Because Trump supporters don't exist. Because you guys are scared to debate me.
I'm here, am I not? And I literally
I'm saying you guys broadly. And Will, you're getting dog walked. You're getting dog walked, Will. How does it feel? Hey, Will, how does it feel? You're getting dog walked repeatedly.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna get this concession when I show you that Eugene Carroll acknowledged the episode. Right.
Well, I need you to be quiet real quick. Let me explain in my position. Can you stop screaming and let me explain my position without cutting me off?
Concession, right?
Can you be quiet, please?
Am I going to get a concession?
No, because you're going to be wrong. So let me explain. So
Also, if I'm right,
EG,
you'll confess, or you,
he can't listen to me because he knows I'm right. You know that if I am able to speak, that I'm going to prove you wrong. So that's why you've got to cut me off. So let's just be very clear. Well, Eugene Carroll, right, knew Law and Order SVU existed, didn't watch the episode, and even if she had watched the episode prior, that is not justification that she got this from the episode. Law and Order SVU is literally a series about people specifically, or about assault crimes, right? Crimes, okay? Especially involving children, right? So, of course, there's going to be a lot of episodes that have very similar stories to other people's situations where they've been.
you want to put me on big screen so we can show
Mm-hmm.
this? Oh, oh, wait, that's the wrong thing.
That's
Sorry.
you, by the way.
Yeah, that was 2016.
Donald Trump received between 8 to 11% of the black vote in 2016.
So it's actually more than I expected in 2016. But that number still goes up.
Okay, where's you? It's you looking up on AI, by the way. It's literally him looking up on AI.
What the hell? It's literally showing me. Well, I mean, if unless you can show me where AI gets it wrong in certain instances,
It
then I'll
does.
take the concession and say
It does. You have to
okay,
click
well,
on the
then prove it.
sources and do research yourself, bro. How old are you, bro?
Well, I know this research myself. I just look it up for the AI overview because I know it's truth.
Mm-hmm.
Like
mm-hmm.
I can actually go in there and cite your sources. You
Wait, so what's
understand
your
that
source?
AI
You said you were
gives
going to
you
provide
these
me a source
sources.
about Eugene Carroll. Where's that at?
Okay, I'm trying to, but it keeps like I literally have it added on my thing.
Okay, do
Oh
do
wait,
do 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 do
okay, here we go,
do
here we go.
do do
I'm on it.
do do
You got
do
it
do
now.
do do do
What
do.
the hell?
Heidi, by the way, thank you for the galaxy. By the way, thank you so much.
Yep.
As well as Renell,
Galaxy
thank you so
Line
much. I
has.
really
Here
appreciate
you
the
go.
ten
Here you
dollars.
go,
Thank you very
buddy.
much. I really appreciate. Thank you. Yeah,
Got it right
exactly.
here.
Why is Trump erasing Black history? Exactly.
Got it
That's a
right
good
here.
point to bring up. As well as Riley, thank
Got
you
it
for the
right here.
$3, and Lee, thank you for the $25. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I am feeling a bit better today.
Hey Parker, at least I've been the longest guy on here, so I'm at least having your day. She acknowledging her 2023 acknowledged being aware of the 2012 Law and Order SVU episode that featured a grape in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room. Kiss my ass. Where's the concession? Where's the concession? Where's the concession? You are so unimpressive. So
Wait,
unimpressive.
move your head. Move your
Where
head.
is the concession?
Yeah, so by the way, so she was aware that an episode existed that was in Bergdorf Goodman.
Yeah,
Not
the
that she got her
specific
Wait, by the
episode.
way, let me just be clear. So you could okay, I'll concede that she knew about the specific episode that involved Bergdorf Goodman. That doesn't mean that she got her story from that. In your own AI overview says that. Can you concede that your own AI overview says that she didn't get the message specifically?
It might say,
Wait, she didn't get the story. Wait,
if the
can you
AI
admit that your
overview
own
says it,
AI
then we're gonna have
overview?
to actually go
Wait.
into the actual plot
Can I get a concession real quick? That your own AI overview admits that she did not get her story from the episode. Can you admit that?
Why? Okay. Here's how dumb you sound. Why would Eugene Carroll,
He's
if she
so
was
mad,
actually
bro.
lying about it, why would she admit that she got the story from an SVU episode if she's trying to act like she actually
Push the
was?
guy.
Are you this stupid, Parker? Please use logic. Please.
Yeah, but you have no
please.
evidence that she got this from the episode. Okay,
She-
just because
what was my-
wait,
what
just
was
because
my
it's
original
located.
claim? What was my
Sir, just because it's located in Bergdorf Goodman does not mean the story is the exact same. What showed in in Bergdorf Goodman that was the exact same as the Eugene Carroll case? Because there was distinctions between the episode and what happened in her story. Push the galaxy. It's literally just that it happened in Bergdorf Goodman. Okay, well he's not going to respond to this.
Well, I'm actually trying to look up the plot so that way we can read it together.
Because you don't know the plot, you're just assuming it's the same. You see this? He's just assuming it's the same. He didn't even actually know the plot or like look at the plot to see that it's similar or anything. He's just got this talking point loaded up and he's just running with the talking point. Lila, thank you for the $2 for as a headphone user. My ears are bleeding. Get this guy a pacifier, please. Yeah, he needs one, honestly. Pacifier fund has now dropped. Get this guy a pacifier, actually. Get him a baby bottle, actually. They're specifically made pacifiers in baby bottles directly for this guest. What can I say, actually? Also, can I ask you a question? Will? Oh, once you get back. This is going to be a really funny question. I can't wait to ask this one. He's so cooked. Wooha, thank you for the $5. Thank you for LOL. The AI is only right when it agrees with me. Also, get a damn real job. I know, right?
Who, me?
Yeah, Will, you get a real job. Yeah, get a real job, Will.
Well, I didn't know if it was addressing me. Now, are you ready to
Can
read
I
this?
ask you a question real quick?
Are we gonna stay on topic with this?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Damn.
It's not showing.
Oh, well,
I hope he's lagging. Already give him a second, everyone.
try to zoom out for you. I don't know why this
I hope he's not loading up.
is better.
There you go.
You want to read it for us? I mean, because
No, you read it.
Okay. 79-year-old former journalist testified she was aware of the episode, but I haven't seen it. A brief moment of the episode titled Theater and Tricks involves a character talking about role-playing a great fantasy in Bergdorf Goodman. Roleplay took place in the dressing room of Bergdorf, so while she was trying on lingerie, I would burst in, the character says. Carroll, in her lawsuit, claims the former commander-in-chief in her fitting room, I can't see that, raped her in the fitting room in the lingerie section of the Fifth Avenue department store, most likely in 1996.
So, by the way, the only similarity is the
very similar
location.
plot.
That's it.
Location,
The only similarity in the
and
plot is the
lingerie.
location, by the way, everybody. The fact that it's a dressing room and the fact that it's Bergdorf Goodman. That's it. It's nothing else about the case. It's literally just those two things. And he's extrapolating because those two things are the same.
Fine.
That then means she wasn't assaulted because she had to have got this from the episode. Now watch this. You're about to get cooked. Let me ask you this question. When was this episode released? What year?
I don't know. Can you tell me?
2012. That was after she had told her friends that she was. Explain to me how she had told her friends in 1995, 1996, and then somehow this episode comes out later, literally over a decade and a half later, and then she specifically. Wait.
That's hearsay.
None of this is hearsay. Listen, please listen without cutting me off. Hey, he's cutting me. He's getting mad. He's getting mad. He's screaming.
Yeah, because that's hearsay.
I love that you're screaming. It's really funny.
It's hearsay.
Stay mad, bro. Stay mad, bro.
How are you
keep crashing out. Do you want me to finish my point, or do you want to keep crashing out?
Is it not hearsay?
Do you want to keep crashing out?
Yeah, thank you. No answer is an answer, buddy.
No, I don't think it's hearsay. Now let me please stop crashing out.
Is that not hearsay?
Can we get some baby bottles in the comment section for this guy? He's crashing out. Let me speak.
Hearsay?
No.
When I say, okay, Parker, Dean just texted me and said that you grabbed him. Is that hearsay? Idiot.
No, it's a witness account specifically of what she told them. Okay? Let me explain. A witness account of what she told them.
They can't prove it?
Hey, stop crashing out. Let me explain my position, and then you'll have time to speak. Chill. I'm going to speak. I'm explaining to you. You can calm down. It's going to be okay. Okay? I'll explain to you once you're done screaming and crashing out.
Yeah, I didn't even crack into my energy drink either. I got to go to the gym, bro.
Hey, dude. Are you done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So what were we just talking about?
For all the tokens and stuff like that. I very much so appreciate it. Go follow the TikTok page. Well, if you're going to be quiet, why don't we talk about Dean's latest?
No, I'm just waiting for you to finish. Okay. You're now speaking and no one can hear you. Okay. So do you want me to finish what I'm saying, or do you just want to keep cutting me off?
Go ahead. Explain how it's not hearsay.
Yeah, I got you. So again, can you actually, how about this? Can you define hearsay?
Yeah, it's basically, I would define hearsay as when somebody tells you something that they can't actually prove.
Okay, so you're saying something without proof.
They can say a conversation happened, but they can't actually prove that conversation happened.
Okay, I think you're using hearsay a little bit differently than how we typically use it.
No, I am wrong. I am wrong. Well, not really, because the whole case of E. Jean Carroll is all hearsay, or he said, she said.
Okay, so your definition of hearsay is just he said, she said?
Well, basically, but that the determination would be like there's no fact to actually prove that specific conversation or anything like that happened.
Okay, so there's just no sufficient evidence to prove. Okay, we'll use hearsay that way. There's no specific evidence to prove this. Okay, watch this. Okay, so what I'm saying happened is a first-person witness account of the fact that she told this to them at that point. Meaning that she had a story to describe specifically that she was assaulted back then, that she described, that was consistent with what specifically we are hearing now. That means that information was there prior to the existence of the Law & Order episode. Okay? The Law & Order episode is in 2012 and results after right? She was then telling those particular friends at that time, which they then testified under oath,
Well,
that they were told
that's
that this story
okay.
happened at that particular time. So it's
And
not
when you're
possible
talking
that
about
she would
being
have got
under
this
oath,
story.
that is not.
So it's not possible that she would have got this story. I can't hear you. I muted you. Okay, it's not possible that
But
she
it's
would
just
have got that.
asinine what you're arguing right
Let me please finish, and let me please finish. So it's
now. Go ahead.
literally not possible that she got the story from the Law and Order SVU episode because it didn't exist yet.
Okay, let me ask you just something crazy just to make sure that you would actually think that this is actually possible. Is it possible in any way that E. Jean Carroll told these women, hey, I need you to lie for me? Is it possible she could have said that?
Logically possible, very unlikely.
Yes. Okay, so you're at least acknowledging it's possible.
Of course, it's logically possible that unicorns exist.
Mm-hmm.
What's your point?
Now,
it's very unlikely.
Now, specifically, what I don't think that even when someone's under oath and testifying about what somebody told them X amount of years ago, or so on and so forth, I don't think it brings up as much of, or it does bring up more scrutiny as maybe like, DNA evidence or specific confirmatory evidence that would show a link between Donald Trump and her being there at the same time or anything like that. Now, when we're specifically talking about the E. Jean Carroll case, you would admit there's no confirmatory evidence at all in this case.
Oh, I think there is. Can you name one piece of evidence in the case you dispute?
Yeah, Natasha Stoynoff. Why would Natasha Stoynoff go to where Trump was at? I don't know if it was Mar-a-Lago or somewhere else. Why would she go there, interview him about his love story with Melania, get essayed, and then go home to write about the best love story she had ever heard from Donald Trump? Can you explain that?
What does this have to do with E. Jean Carroll?
Isn't that kind of because they used Natasha Stoynoff to prove Donald Trump's escapade character, did they not?
Yeah, but do you think that she lied?
That's wait. That's evidence.
Do you think she lied?
That's evidence that they used, right?
Yeah. Do you think she lied? It's
Okay.
specifically priors. So do you think that she lied?
I find it very highly unlikely that a woman would go interview a man about a love story with his wife, Melania, then get pushed up against the wall, be essayed, and then go home and write a great love story about the same person that just her. How believable is that, Parker?
Okay, so when we live in a society where people like you don't believe victims after they've held their abusers, can you please stop talking? Okay, when we live in a society where raging, screaming men like you will not believe victims even when they've held their abusers accountable in the context of a civil court, unanimously amongst a jury of 9 people for forcefully penetrating a woman's against her will, who has a history of bragging about walking into the changing rooms of women while they're changing without the consent. When 2 18-year-olds came out, so there were 4 girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms, who said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years, right? Donald Trump has a history of literally saying and bragging about grabbing women without asking. He has a history of 27 plus people that have accused him of misconduct. He has a history of a relationship with Epstein where he was very close with Epstein, best buds with Epstein, specifically where he was also even accused by Jane Doe 4, who got a settlement with the Epstein estate for her accusations against Epstein relating to sexual abuse and trafficking, and she accused Epstein of trafficking her to Trump. Okay? So there's countless things I can point to in terms of Donald Trump's history that indicate that he's engaged in this particular behavior. So why wouldn't a victim come out right away and would continue to do exactly what she was planning to do before? Well, because she lives in a society where people like you aren't willing to believe her regardless, where she feels like she doesn't have community, where she feels like she's going to have retribution for coming out with this information in the first place. As people like Donald Trump with huge access to power and who are very well connected can use that power to go after victims who try to come out against them. Okay? And again, this whole fucking argument is the same bullshit that we're trying to rid even within our party, because the same people will use these same fucking stupid arguments with people who are on the left, like Graham Plattner. They'll run the same fucking arguments of, I'm not happy that they came out specifically at the time they came out. Why did Why didn't they come out earlier, actually, when they saw that they were coming out and actually running beforehand? Why didn't they come out right away? Just because someone doesn't come out right away doesn't mean it didn't happen to them. And we all know people in our lives that have not come out right away, okay? Just because someone has not come out right away does not mean it didn't happen to them. And people like you that are discussing rape apologists will constantly perpetuate this idea that just because people don't come out right away, that means there's something wrong with the accusation.
Moral grandstanding? Is this what they call moral grandstanding?
Is that what you're doing? Yeah.
How? What?
Yeah.
How am I touting off my morals when you're one shaming me for quote unquote being a grape apologist when I've done no such thing?
You are
all
one.
All I'm doing is asking for a little bit of confirmatory evidence.
I already gave you some. I've given you plenty.
Confirmatory meaning actual hard evidence.
Criticize any of Criticize any of the evidence I just listed for you.
In specific, with what? E. Jean Carroll?
Wow, he couldn't mention anything. I gave you a bunch of pieces of evidence to indicate that this is Donald Trump's character.
We're specifically talking about E. Jean Carroll and what was admitted into that.
Do you think having a character of violently abusing people or of exploiting women is relevant to whether or not he committed abuse? Obviously, it's relevant. Obviously, it's relevant to the idea that he committed abuse. That specifically, he has committed exploitation, bragged about committing exploitation. He's little girls. He's literally been accused by 27 plus people of misconduct. He literally has credible accusations from victims who got settlements from the Epstein estate. That's all evidence of his prior character. Evidence specifically that points to him bragging about grabbing women by the without asking. That's again more evidence. Him bragging about doing the very thing that he literally was convicted of doing, was held liable for doing. Unmute yourself, bro.
Yeah, it's just all shotgun talking points. I'm not even going to address it because that has nothing to do with
because you can't. Because you got destroyed.
Yeah, how many times have I heard you guys tout off these same shotgun points?
And yet you have no response, buddy.
Okay, I can also say I disagree with the comments about Trump and the comments with his daughter and stuff like that, and probably even with the dressing room thing, even though he said he'd walk backstage.
Wait. Backstage to where?
Dressing rooms.
Katie, push the
That's all he said, backstage.
Wait, no, he said backstage to an area where no men are, where no men are, specifically where women are changing and that they have no clothes on.
Yeah, but I don't have any problem with saying that that's a bad look and that should be condemned.
Okay, but that demonstrates a character. That demonstrates priors and characters of him engaging in exploitation, and you're totally okay with overlooking that as a basis for evidence for the fact that he abused people?
That's prejudicial.
What do you mean?
Let's say if Donald Trump was accused of murder maybe like 15, 20 years ago, right? And he's found guilty for it. Let's say the minimum sentence is like 5 years. He serves 5 years. Then he gets out again. Then he murders somebody else. And then another case is brought against him. Nowhere can the court say, because he committed this crime in the past, he's more likely to commit it now. That is prejudicial.
Wait, you can do something called prior bad acts. So you can use prior bad acts to demonstrate that someone has a character that they would commit these particular crimes. Yes, they can. They literally did it in the context of the court case. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, in the context of the court case where it was completely Democrat funded and ran with a Democrat.
Well, completely Democrat funded. No, it's because of the fact that. Wait. I'm sorry. You're such an idiot that you're such an idiot that you think that prior bad acts is not applicable to cases. Like, you're an idiot. You literally don't know this. How the hell do you not know this?
Shall we look it up if it's prejudicial or not?
Look up. Can prior bad acts be used for civil court determinations? Wait, by the way, Taryn, thank you for the $5. Is it also $100 for you to tell this pompous, misogynistic incel to disrespectfully go himself, since no one else ever will? Thank you so much, Taryn. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I totally agree with your statement. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Russell, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Because there are W's for Russell in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Emma. Thank you for the $15. Yes, I do need to get a lullaby machine for guests like this. Renell, thank you so much for the push to $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I know, right? Literally, he has no clue what that means. Katie, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that work is literally so important. I totally get you there. There's so many people out there that feel like they don't have the community, so you're totally right. Katie as well, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. Crystal, thank you for the $2. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the dressing room. And the SV episode was not the main plot of the episode. FYI, thank you for the firework. Thank you very much. It was a side story to the assault that took place. I've seen that episode many times. Thank you so much, Crystal. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, actually, Will, can you thank all the donors for sending me money? And can you especially thank Taryn?
Yeah, it's a lovely world of capitalism. Thank you, guys. Right, Parker?
I'm not a socialist. I'm a liberal.
Okay, you're a classical liberal with a lowercase.
I'm a social democratic liberal.
So, but like in terms of like, you know what a classical liberal is, right? Like in terms
yeah, that's
of, like,
that, which just means conservative. Like it's the same thing Dave Rubin says. It just means conservative.
So, what liberal used to mean is actually just the definition of conservative.
Classical liberal, the way that's used is to refer to conservatives. Like it's like a specific term that conservatives
use. How is it used to refer to conservatives?
Okay, I'm just dude, I'm a liberal. I'm a liberal. You don't need to know about all this.
Did progressives before 10 years ago have this same policy stance? Are you willing to say that they were conservative? Or actually, so you're basically saying the whole country was conservative up until 10 years ago, right?
Conservative is predicated based upon how it's a response to the current set of dynamics of where the views typically are, the Overton window. Okay. I think it's a little bit too confusing for you to understand, so I'm just telling you I'm a liberal.
Okay, well, it just sounds pretty dumb when you're saying that actually when you refer to classical liberal, you're just talking about conservatives. But
yeah, that's typically what that word means. You would be
labeling everyone as conservative, right?
Yeah, like historically,
at least with the policy stance up until 10 years ago.
Like historically, the liberals that were defined as liberals would be defined as conservatives today. So like it's just that's how the Overton window works.
I agree with that. Yeah. So I do have one question.
Go ahead.
One question. How did you feel about your buddy Dean making the case for black people being wrongly incarcerated?
Push that mustache. What makes you think that?
Well, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Wait, do you mean like he was making the case that there's systemic racism?
Well, so a caller came on to his show and said specifically, what are we going to do about all this I think he said proportionate black crime or something like that, or something along those lines.
Wait, by the way, are you driving?
Referring to I'm in my truck, but I'm not driving. I'm in a gas station.
Okay.
I'm just airing up my truck before I get off. Because like I said, I have to go to the gym. But basically the caller came on and said,
you're airing it out because you smell like shit. Is that what it is?
Well, my armpits are sweating a little bit. It's a little hot in here. It is summer. And plus my truck's running, so you could tell my truck.
So he does admit he smells like shit. Okay.
I'm sweating. What the fuck? It's a hot ass day. I'm sitting in my truck. Anyways, the caller comes on and says, what are we going to do about all this black crime? And Dean says, well, what about the black people being disproportionately wrongfully convicted and stuff like that?
Yes.
You didn't see that clip?
That's true.
Or you did? You did see that clip?
Yeah, like most exonerations are applicable to people who are black because people who are black are over criminalized within our system. For example, with the use of M drug, the elevation substance that I love, it's legal in many states. White people and black people use it at the same rate, have possession at the same rate, but black people are 4 times more likely to be arrested for it.
But when we're specifically looking at the numbers and whatnot, are you willing to say that majority of specifically black people in the prison system are wrongfully incarcerated, or at least a high percentage of them?
I would say high percent. I don't know if I could say majority, but a high percent, yeah.
Do you know how many exonerations have happened since the last 40 years?
I know that the amount of exonerations isn't very high.
Yeah. It's, maybe 4,000? Do you know how many black people are in the prison system?
Well, what's the argument you're trying to make?
I want to know what your evidence is.
Of what?
To actually make the statement that you think there's a high percentage of black people who are wrongly incarcerated.
Well, when we say high is going to be relative to how are you explaining the term.
High percentage. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, so high is going to be relative to how we're using the term. High is contextual.
Okay, well, what's your definition of high percentage?
And it's dependent on the context.
Yeah, you can just answer. I know you don't want to sound stupid, but you can answer.
No, like the way that
be honest.
It's contextual. I already told you. There's not one specific definition of the word high, of like a threshold. It's depending on the context.
But so you can't even give me a starting point to high percentage? Then how would you know what high percentage is?
It depends on the context. Sometimes a high
Okay, but we're
percentage,
specifically talking about
sometimes a
it in
high percentage.
context.
Wait, hold up. Sometimes a high percentage, right, is going to be it's going to be like if we talk about crime, right?
Hmm.
We could say that there's a high percentage of crime in a certain area, but if you look at the overall percentage of the population, it's a very low percent. Okay, so you need to be contextual here, right? So is it high in comparison to another thing? Like, for example, exonerations for black people is it's high in relation to white people, so it's proportionally more likely. So when we say a high percent, the way we could be referring to
But
it
that's also but
is
that's
like
also
is
because they're
comparative
overrepresenting in
to
the
white people
crime,
within our
right?
society.
But that's also because they're overrepresenting in the crime, right? Like a white collar dude is not gonna
Because of
be on the statistic.
overcriminalization.
Like wait, hold on. You would agree with me. Um, an office job guy is not going to be on the
Wait, you
statistic
accept the
of a.
determinations from courts when it comes to people who are black, but you don't accept it when it comes to like people like Donald Trump.
Well, in the case of Donald Trump, he most certainly is a. I mean, we can go
It's
through the weaponization of the justice
Democrat
system.
courts actually. Those Democratic courts, they're all rigged actually.
Okay,
Okay,
okay. Let me
false
just let
conviction
me let
actually.
me just
Those
ask you then.
convictions are
Let me
so
just
fake.
ask you
They're
then.
not real
Let me
actually.
just
The
ask
whole
you.
justice system, it's rigged actually.
Okay,
It's
let
rigged
me
against
let me show.
Trump. But you couldn't possibly believe that it's
Did
rigged
Judge
against people
Merchan
who are
not have a
black.
did Judge Merchan not have a bias against Trump?
No,
Okay, what about the $35 anti-Trump or donation that he made to the progressive or
wasn't that
it was
his
an
kid?
anti-Trump. It was an no. This is what you're misunderstanding. You don't know this. You don't. I know this. This is his daughter. I don't really give a shit about. I know that she raises a lot of money for the Democrat Party. That's fine, right? It could imply something, but considering Judge Merchan himself made a donation to an anti-Trump political campaign of $35. It does not matter the amount, whether it's $1,000, whether
It
it's ten
does.
thousand dollars, whether it's $2. It shows a clear bias when he's going against Trump to make that donation. Now, tell me, if it were the case, and if it were the case that who let's use John Bolton. Let's use John Bolton specifically. If John Bolton and the judge overseeing John Bolton's case had a donation to a MAGA Forever organization, would you be shouting your head off saying that this is a weaponization of the justice system?
No, I wouldn't say it was a
Of
weaponization
course
if you had
not.
the same facts otherwise. I don't think it's weaponization specifically to have someone specifically who gave $35 to like act blue. I think that's absurd to argue
Okay.
specifically.
You want more evidence? I'll show you how the bias came into the court system
Yeah, go ahead.
specifically.
Yeah, because
Okay,
apparently you're willing to believe
Mershon
it here, but you're
did
unwilling to believe
Mershon
it when it comes to people
did
who are
Mer,
black.
did Mershon not threaten Trump and say, if you take the stand, I will let Bragg ask you about anything? Anything. Is that not the case?
Anything is not specifically saying outside of the bound. It's saying anything within the bounds of the law.
No,
So
no.
yeah.
This is if you're bringing up shit. Okay. Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein. You know who he is? You know the famous case that he had in New York?
Mm-hmm.
You know how it got thrown back because they had testimony and asked questions from people that weren't supposed to be in the court case because their specific instances had nothing to do with the case itself? That would be the same basis for an appeal on Trump. I mean, Trump has plenty of appeals when it comes to the New York case with Bragg. It's that freaking bad. But specifically, when you're looking at the precedent of the appeals court, they're going to do the exact same thing. They're going to ask Merchan, or they're going to say, Judge Merchan, why in the hell would you threaten Donald Trump and say, I will let Bragg ask you about anything? And that includes E. Jean Carroll, had nothing to do with the Stormy Daniel case, or even about Georgia or the documents case. What does that have anything to do with being in a courtroom when we're talking about with the hush money? It's nothing to do with the hush money. That's a weaponization of the justice system against Donald Trump, specifically with Judge Merchan's bias. Care to say anything?
Yeah, I don't think that's weaponization of the justice system.
I mean,
Specifically, to say
you could
that
say
you're going
that.
to have a process where you ask questions about a case to Donald Trump specifically, who would be testifying if he decided to
Are
testify. It
are
was
judges?
deemed literally by the people. Like Michael Cohen testified and talked about the fact that he was directed by Donald Trump to literally falsify business records
You are
to
making my
prevent.
argument right now for
You're,
me.
no, I'm
You're
not.
making my argument
No,
right
I'm
now.
not.
Yes.
No, I'm
You
not.
want to? You want to hear why? You want to
Oh
hear
my
why?
God.
Closing
Can
closing
you stop?
statements.
Hey, Will.
Closing statements.
You need to learn
Bragg.
something called self control, because you lack that
I
shit.
should beat up too much, bro. You're just
Hey,
getting beat
Will,
up
I'm
too
not
much.
getting beat up for shit.
You probably.
Will, I'm not getting beat up. You're just literally constantly talking over me, and you're screaming in the mic. Chill the out.
Well,
Stop screaming into the microphone. Have some self
you
control.
have the ability to end the conversation if you want, bro.
I do, but I'm just telling you to shut the up and chill out so that we can continue the conversation. Okay, what would you last hear that I said?
Just reiterate it.
No, can you tell me the last thing you heard that I said?
No, because you threw me off my train of the train of subject.
I did. I was trying to finish my statement. You're the one who cut me off.
Yeah, but we just acknowledged that I was being a little bit impulsive. So if you want to reiterate, I have no issue with being quiet and listening and responding.
Yeah, there's
So
a
go
few
ahead.
things here. A few things here. So when it comes,
Don't make it 5 minutes.
yeah, I'm not going to. When it comes to the case, Michael Cohen literally admitted that he was directed by Donald Trump specifically to falsify these business records so that they could hide the hush money payments. Okay, and the reason why he did so is because it would help him with his own charges, and it admits specifically the scenario that was applicable with Donald Trump. That tells us what Donald Trump's intentions were with trying to falsify the business records. There was also a predicate crime there where he was trying to prevent the release of these documents so that it wouldn't affect his election prospects. So those things categorized together, right, within the context of the case, regardless of the fact that Marshawn literally had a $35 donation through ActBlue, is just absurd, right? To say that that's going to then limit the case from being able to be run legitimately. Again,
You
the
should.
jury made this determination, and I don't think that anything that Marshawn did in the case would have prevented the jury from being able to make an accurate determination with all of the
Okay.
evidence shown in the case.
Okay, cool. So you brought up Michael Cohen at first. Now, specifically, another thing that was prejudicial against Donald Trump was the argument that since Michael Cohen had pleaded guilty, that makes Donald Trump guilty. You understand that that is highly inadmissible in a courtroom, right? The plead guilty of Michael Cohen does not mean that Donald Trump is guilty. And that's what Bragg ordered, or that's what Bragg argued in the closing statements. Now,
Yeah,
not to
and
mention,
how did that
want to
go?
say you want to wait, hold on, hold on. You want to say
How did it go
because
for Trump?
hold on. You also want to say that even though Mershon had a $35 donation to an anti-Trump organization, you're fine with that
It's
because
not anti-Trump. It's just Act Blue.
it's an okay. Would you say Act Blue is completely contradictory to Donald Trump?
I would say Act Blue is something that's typically associated with Democrats. And at that specific point in time in which they made this particular donation, I don't think that it would be defined as necessarily 100% all categorizations anti-Trump. Now, the $15 of it was
Well,
earmarked towards President
you
Biden.
interrupted me. You interrupted me, and I was not done talking. By the way,
You asked me a
and I'm
question,
not.
you
I'm
dipshit.
Well, no, you interrupted me as I was speaking, and I was trying to say, hold on. Specifically, when you're talking about the donation, let me ask you: is it highly advised against when it comes to judges and making donations to political campaigns?
Sure. Was it also determined by the court that this didn't prevent them from being able to make legitimate determinations for the
Did
case?
they? Did the ethics court not highly advise him that he might get in trouble for this?
Did the ethics
The
did the
ethics
ethics
panel
committee
literally
also
warned
allow
him
for
about
him
it.
to be the judge?
Did they not warn him about it though? In terms of an appeal,
So
that's a very well, especially
he
when
was cleared.
the defendant. No,
Yeah.
the appeal hasn't even been taken up yet. He's filed it, but
Wait,
the
no.
appeal hasn't
Didn't
went
he lose
through.
the appeal?
No, bro. Do you understand how long appeals courts takes?
I'm pretty sure he lost the appeal on that one.
Bro, can you look up for me then right now, did Donald Trump now I'm not specifically talking about the mid court case. I'm specifically talking about after Judge Merchan had kind of shit the bed on sentencing him. He specifically, or no, I just lost my train of thought again. Sorry, what was I saying?
You were talking about how there's another appeal going through. There could be
Oh
another appeal.
okay. Sorry, I apologize. Sometimes I do that. But specifically the mid
It
court
was
case
thrown
appeal,
out apparently.
the mid court case appeal got thrown out. Now look up, because this appeal was filed maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and it hasn't even been taken up yet. It hasn't even been scheduled to be looked at.
No, the appeal was
So look that up for me.
from October 2025.
Yeah, and you're telling me that the appeals court had already heard it.
I thought it'd been the appeal had
No,
been shot
it's
down
not.
by the
He
judge,
just filed
but this could be a different one or something.
He tried to appeal mid-court case when the Supreme Court ruling came down, because he thought that would definitely have
Okay.
gotten him out of the case.
Okay, well, I
But
mean,
specifically,
we haven't got that back yet.
but,
I guess if there's an appeal set out for that,
yeah,
he has lost his
obviously,
other.
but
And by the way,
that
will
was
you?
the whole main intent of it.
I have a question. Will you accept the determination of the appeal?
I will accept the ruling from the appeal if it is the case that I can get the questions answered of what I'm bringing up now. Like if the appeals court is just going to say that you can just have a clear established bias to the person who allows the evidence to come into the courtroom, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have an issue with that. Not to mention, I'm very hopeful with the New York Court of Appeals, because they already gave us a good enough decision when it comes to the unconstitutional ruling, or the unconstitutional fine from Letitia James of the $500 million.
Hey,
Right?
before you move into another thing, Will, just be quiet quick. Go ahead, Law. I know you have some information.
Sure. If you had anything specific you wanted me to address.
Oh yeah. You I'm pretty sure you wanted. You said something in the comments. I saw it. I was like,
So there's two appeals. One is the appeal of the verdict. That one's still pending in the appellate division. And then there's the he also appealed to have it removed to federal court, and that one was struck down. But the verdict appeal is still pending in the Court of Appeals.
yeah. What are your thoughts on that, Will?
Then just correct me if I'm wrong. He didn't. I do remember that specifically, of him trying to move it to a federal court. Was there not another appeal mid-case of him after the Supreme Court ruling, or is that the same thing with moving it to federal?
No, well, so he had several interlocutory appeals that were struck down, but once the verdict comes out, all the interlocutory appeals are mooted out. But he had a separate appeal to remove it to federal court so that the federal courts could address immunity, and that was struck down.
Okay, that was per New York. So I mean, I'm not.
But, so if you won't even accept the appeal just because it's New York.
I have a question for him. Now there's one specific part where Alvin Bragg, I'm being, or at least from what I've read from other lawyers, are making this argument about Alvin Bragg not putting in the indictment the specific evidence.
Wait, yeah, good question. Wait, Will, why are you looking around so much?
Just looking at.
And looking forward, it looks like you're trying to look around to drive.
Bro, here, hold on. I'm literally, hold on. I'm not. This is how I talk. Usually when I'm on live, I'm literally right next to a phone.
Okay.
So, back to what I'm asking specifically, how would that not be, if Alvin Bragg does not put in the indictment what he's charging Donald Trump for and what the evidence is that he has against Donald Trump, specifically in relation to the underlying crime, to commit another crime. How is that not a violation of his Sixth Amendment right? 6th or 7th, I think.
Well, so an indictment only has to list the charges. It doesn't have to list any factual basis. So you can have a speaking indictment which lays out a factual basis as to the elements, but all the indictment are the allegations. Anything else comes up at a preliminary hearing. Now, there were 4 crimes that the state wanted to argue that were the predicate crimes in order to enhance it to a felony. Judge Merchan threw out one of them. the inducement to have others commit business fraud. He threw that out because the other people would then have to be brought in to defend the allegations, and he thought that would muddle up the trial. So they were only permitted to argue the other three. That was all handled in pretrial motions.
Okay, so then the other question I would have is, because the specific, I do believe that Trump, like in that pre-trial, I do believe that Trump's lawyers did make that argument that like there wasn't, or at least I'm gonna have to actually look at the article that I was reading from specifically, because then I can kind of reiterate to you the specific lawyer words that I'm trying to retrieve for my brain. So you know who Eli Honig is?
Do I know who?
Eli Honig.
No.
Well, I was specifically asking the lawyer because this is at least a lawyer who is in the political space in terms of like coming on to like CNN and stuff like that and giving his analysis when it comes to,
He's like a former prosecutor for U.S. attorney in New York, I think.
Yeah. So, give me a second and I'll go retrieve what he's saying specifically with the because I do believe in his argument is like Donald Trump was not actually made fully aware of the charges being levied against him, and he wasn't able to mount a proper defense specifically when it comes to the underlying crime, because the evidence wasn't forced up until after the defense had already made their closing statement. So meaning that they can't argue against it.
That's not even true because they were argued in pretrial motions all back in like October before the trial started, because the state proffered four predicate crimes that they wanted to argue, and the judge threw out one of them. So any claim that like he didn't have notice is just refuted by the court record itself.
Okay. Maybe I'm just missing something here to like, I'm not a lawyer, so I just at least when it comes to,
I don't blame you, because there's all sorts of legal commenters that get a camera put on their face and they haven't actually done the digging into the record. They just get told something and then they repeat it. So I don't fault you if somebody said that, but then if and I don't even fault you for repeating it because it comes from a quasi-trusted source. But then there are some people who can go and fact check it, and that's one of the things I did is I went back and looked at all the pretrial motions and saw, hey, here's the 4 predicate crimes, and then here's the order from Judge Merchan saying that the state can't use one of them. So if it was argued in pretrial motions, there's no way the defense can say we didn't have any notice of that, because they did, because they responded to it in the pretrial motions.
Mm-hmm. I think that's all I have, at least when it comes to questions. So,
hey, Will, is there anything Trump could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
Thinking off the top of my head, I mean, if he did something like actually terribly grotesque with evidence against him, then yeah.
You said,
I'm not talking about Jane Doe either.
Oh, like for example, like if there was evidence of him exploiting women.
Well, it's like, what do you mean by exploiting?
Like he bragged about walking to the changing rooms of women while they're changing without their consent.
Oh my God, bro, this again. Is this all you have? Bro?
No, I mean we've talked about a bunch of the other things. I'm just asking you, would that be enough for you to stop supporting him?
Let me ask Mr. Lawyer Guy here a question, because I'm not entertaining that. We already had the conversation. Mr. Lawyer Guy, what is your opinion on Nathan Wade, Fani Willis's attorney?
Can we just actually
going to the White House to talk to Joe Biden and the administration?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Bruh, you got me. You freaking got me. All right, Parker, I'm gonna get off here. I seem pretty bored. So
later,
you said
buddy.
You were going to bed like an hour ago.
That was really funny. That was really funny.
Have a good one, buddy.
Later, bud.
The tone shift was wild, Parker.
Immediately when you joined, his tone went from screaming into the microphone to like chill. Like I don't know what happened, but thanks for coming up. I appreciate it. It really helped, actually.
Happy to help out anytime. That was hilarious.
That was really funny. Right. Good seeing you. Good night, Alrighty, everyone. Last person for today, everyone. We got 27 minutes left on the stream maximum, everybody. 27. Alrighty.